Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah, and if you're new here, books. That's it. I wanted to do something different for this month's TBR because I've exhausted my TBR jar and the prompts in there, and I thought, why don't I just switch it up a bit? But what can I really do? But I was just filling out my book journal and I thought, yeah, maybe we could use this, because this is like my pride and joy. I thought, why don't I use this to pick some of the prompts for this month, because it's going to feel so satisfying. I'm going to feel so accomplished to be like, I can say that I read this for my reading journal and this will be good for this challenge, and you know, that sort of vibe. In reading journals, people tend to do challenges. So this spread here has like trope challenges, it has a alphabet challenge, and that's just two of the ones in here. We'll put together a spinning wheel and it can tell me which challenges to try and complete, and we're going to use my physical books on my TBR to try and complete some of these challenges. I feel like I should maybe show you my reading journal before we do that. So enjoy my flip through of my reading journal. You see my reading journal, and can you just be kind, because this is my first proper try. I don't even know why I'm saying that. I freaking love my reading journal. So say what you want, because I love it. Okay, so I have obviously created a spinning wheel. Let's have a little look. So you're not going to be able to see the prompts right now, but I promise you they're there. I think there's 12. I could have gone really specific, but I just thought, you know what? We don't need any more than that. I'm thinking I'm going to pick 5 prompts, and then that means we'll be picking 5 books. So let's do that, shall we? Let's spin for the first prompt. Does that say purchased in America? I'm going to cheat a little bit. I know that, you know, if you just paid attention to the portion of the video we just did, in my May spread, I did do a little purchased in America section because I spent half of May in America. I have 4 books here that, nope, I don't, I have one more, I have one more. Okay, 5 books. I have 5 books here that I purchased in America, and one of them, this is Wife House. This was on my June TBR? Yes, yeah it was. But I didn't get around to it. I'm also don't think I'm in the mood for it right now, so we're not going to be reading that. In terms of other books in this stack, we have Between Sisters by Kristen Hanna. You knew I was going to do it, right? You knew I was going to point out how floppy these are. I read 2 Kristen Hanna books last month, so we're not doing that one. We have The Book of Lost Hours, which I don't know a ton about, but it feels very, like, the library academic vibe feels very September to me, so I'm not going to pick this one. So that leaves 2. We have Dungeon Crawler Carl and we have Just Friends by Hayley Pham. I should probably be picking this, you know, summer, July. I also fear if I don't read it by September, it's not going to get read until next summer. I don't know, because I'm not picking it. I'm okay, let me be honest. Let me tell you the truth. I've already started reading this book, and I think it's probably a good idea if I put this on my TBR for some accountability. I've started this book. I'm 108 pages in. I wanted to get the paperback version, and also this was so floppy. Let's read this. So for a book I bought in America, we're going to read Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinnerman. That one wasn't very challenge focused, so let's see if we can get something that is. Perfect! Book bingo! So I filled a lot of my book bingo, and obviously that's great, that's wonderful, but it's going to make this really hard. So the one that I know we're definitely not doing is high fantasy. I'm not in the mood to read a high fantasy book. We have Found Family, Guilty Pleasure and Spicy AF. That's our options. Found Family, Guilty Pleasure, Spicy AF. Let's have a look. I've picked 2 books. So here we have Restore Me by Tahira Mafi and Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. Now, Found Family, I picked this because there is definitely a found family element to the Shatter Me series, and wouldn't it also be really good if I could update my series tracker and say that I'm doing something? And let me tell you, updating my series tracker, like, that series tracker hasn't seen me this year because I haven't been reading fantasy books. So it would be really good for me to be able to update that and, you know, have some progression. Shatter Me would be the easiest way to do that because these books are so fucking easy to consume. So Found Family, here we could go for Shatter Me. And then Spicy AF, if you don't know anything about Deep End, this book is like, the discourse about this book when it was first released was, this is so spicy, and it's because the book, I have actually tried to read this, I tried to read it while I was in America and it was just too spicy to be reading around people, so I stopped. So I know it's spicy, but the relationship itself in this book is based on the fact that they both have certain kinks. So this could be our Spicy AF book, or we could do a Found Family book. I have a sci-fi dystopian with Dungeon Crawler Carl, so should we do Deep End? This feels like maybe I should do this, maybe I should take a dent into my, you know, romance TBR. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. So for Spicy AF, for my book bingo, we're going to read Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. Okay, we're already picking our 3rd book. I've pressed spin and you didn't even see it! On your anticipated releases spread. This one scares me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have a lot of anticipated releases this year, and that wasn't on purpose. I've not read tons and tons of things that have made me like wait for them, and then obviously Abby Jimenez and Cara Bastone came out with their books and I read them straight away. They were probably my most anticipated releases for this year. My second one would probably be The Knave and the Moon, which is coming in September. So I can't read that, but we do have a couple of options. So we have Unbound, which is by Peyton Corinne. It's the 3rd book. I don't know what that series is called. Unloved, Unsteady, the books, yeah, you might know. There's Furybound, which I'm not running to read, if I'm honest. I don't really know if I care, especially because I don't own Direbound. I'm not sure. We have Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. That's an option. And then we have Lightwielder. And I do want to read Lightwielder. But do I? Do I? Oh, this is really difficult. I don't know which one to go for. The thing about Lightwielder is that is a fantasy book that I know I want to see through. Like, I know I need to read the second book to Metal Slinger because that ending was just kind of wild. I have not been so caught off guard by something. Even though I knew there was a huge twist at the end, I was definitely surprised by that ending. So I definitely know I want to read Lightwielder. Do I want to read it now is the question. I think I'm gonna go with Lightwielder, which seems crazy, feels crazy, but will help me with my series tracker. So we're gonna do that. For a book on my anticipated releases spread, we are gonna read Lightwielder by Rachel, I want to say Schneider. Okay, let's spin. We have 2 more left. Let's go. From my yearly TBR. Okay, this is good because these are like all of the books that they're kind of like on my backlist. So in terms of what we can read, it's not very seasonal, I will tell you that. The ones that I haven't read yet, we have The Knave and the Moon, which is obviously not released. We have The Burn Inside by Sarah Damoff, which I think has been released now, so we could do that one. Malice by John Gwynne, absolutely not, considering unhauling it. Don't Let the Forest In could be an option because people do Summerween, don't they? So Don't Let the Forest In, it's on my physical TBR, I could read that. We have Crescent City. I am not ready for that, and I refuse to read Crescent City until I finish Throne of Glass, so we're not doing that one. Then we have Lightwielder, which I've just picked, so that's going to be fun. We have The Sword of Kaigan, which I'm desperate to read, but I really want to read it with my book club. I'm like desperately hoping that I can get them to read it, so I'm not going to pick that one because we've already picked our book for this month. Kingdom of Ash, one day I will get there. And then we have Salem's Lot, which is obviously by Stephen King. In terms of real options here, we only have The Burning Side and Don't Let the Forest In, and I only own one of them. So I guess I know what I'm reading. Don't Let the Forest In is YA, so I'm hoping that this is super easy to read and maybe I can film some Summerween content. Maybe we could do that because I do have some backlist thrillers down here that I've owned for a really long time. Yeah, the 4th book that we're going to be reading that's on my yearly TBR is Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. I'm so excited for this book. We only have 1 spin left. Just 1 spin. Yes, this is a win. Reread is such a win because I've been feeling slumpish. So the reason why we're only picking 5 prompts today is because I've been reading like 6 books a month. I usually read at least 9. So yeah, my speed of reading has just gone down. Let's have a look at my reread list. A lot of them are quite daunting. I do have one that stands out to me quite a lot, and it's because it's short and it's also queer. And I'm filming this in Pride Month. I want to be reading gay books right now. Lie With Me. This is by Philip Besson, and I read this quite a long time ago. This story I read, I want to say like 4 years ago now, and I loved it. I sobbed. It's obviously super short, and why the hell would I not want to cry again? Yes, I want to cry again, obviously. So this is definitely one of the options, but I should maybe think about rereading ACOTAR. I thought and had the intention of rereading the whole ACOTAR series in preparation for the next book. I fear that I'm going to be emotionally not attached. That's kind of a little bit of a worry. But also, like, how long has it been since she released the first book? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people in that position. And I thought it could be fun to reread because books 2 and 3, I rated them both 5 stars. I think ACOTAR could be an option, but I'm not going to do it. The intention is there, but I'm not doing it. So I think this is a summer reread, in my opinion. Lie With Me by Philip Besson. Let's reread. Let's do it. So these are the books that we've chosen. with the addition of Light Wielder. And the fact that that is not actually going to stare at me in the face means that I'm less likely to read it. That's just how I work, by the way. But I do really want to get to it, and I think I'll probably end up reading it on my Kindle. It could be fun. I'm kind of scared, but anyway, these are the books that we've picked. And in terms of genres, we've really got some, I was going to say dimension, we've got some diversity. Let's see how we get on. If you want to see me read any of these in reading vlogs, please do let me know. If you want any book journal content, also please let me know in the comments, because I love my book journal and I flipping love book journal videos. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed getting to have a little bit of a look at my reading journal and picking my July TBR with me. Thank you so much. I will see you in my next one. Bye.